In the grand theatre of history, few empires have shaped the destiny of a subcontinent as profoundly as the Mauryan Empire. Rising from the heartlands of Magadha in 321 BCE, it was the brainchild of Chandragupta Maurya, a visionary leader who drew inspiration from the conquests of Alexander the Great. Determined and astute, Chandragupta amassed an army and overthrew the ruling Nanda dynasty, thereby establishing the first great empire to unify large parts of the Indian subcontinent. With his chief minister and strategist, Kautilya, also known as Chanakya, Chandragupta built a vast and well-administered empire, expanding its borders through military conquests and diplomatic alliances. The Mauryan domain stretched from Bihar and Nepal to western and northwestern India, even reaching the Deccan Plateau. The defining moment of his rule came in 305 BCE when he clashed with Seleucus Nicator, a former general of Alexander. After a series of conflicts, a treaty was signed in 303 BCE, ceding vast territories such as Arachosia, modern Kandahar, Jedrosia, Balochistan, and Parapamisadai, Afghanistan, to the Mauryan fold. The treaty also established matrimonial alliances between the Greeks and Indians, reflecting the empire's openness to cultural amalgamation. As Chandragupta aged, he turned to spirituality, embracing Jainism under the guidance of Bhadrabahu. Renouncing his throne, he embarked on a journey to Shravanabelagola in Karnataka, where he is believed to have ended his life through the Jain ritual of Salakana. His successor, Bindusara, 297 BCE, 273 BCE, known as a Mitragata, slayer of foes, further expanded the empire's dominion. His conquests led to the annexation of 16 states, extending Mauryan control across the Indian peninsula. The regions between the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal came under his rule. Greek emissaries such as Demetrius visited his court, highlighting the empire's diplomatic stature. Unlike his father, Bindusara followed the Ajivaka sect, a religious movement parallel to Jainism and Buddhism. However, the Mauryan Empire reached its zenith under Ashoka the Great, 272 BCE, 232 BCE. Initially a fierce warrior, Ashoka proved his mettle in the brutal Kalinga War circa 261 BCE, which resulted in massive bloodshed. Witnessing the destruction, he underwent a profound transformation, turning to Buddhism and advocating for Dhamma, a code of moral conduct based on compassion, non-violence, and righteousness. His edicts, inscribed on rocks and pillars across the empire, conveyed his message to the people. Titles such as Devanampiya, beloved of the gods, and Piyadasi, of gracious mien, reflected his newfound philosophy. Ashoka's reign saw the propagation of Buddhism beyond Indian shores. He sent emissaries, including his own children, to regions as distant as Sri Lanka and Southeast Asia. The Third Buddhist Council, held at Pataliputra, consolidated Buddhist teachings. Yet, his emphasis on Dhamma did not overshadow his administrative prowess. He maintained an efficient bureaucracy, built infrastructure, and promoted trade. The Mauryan economy thrived on agriculture, with a taxation system overseen by officials like the Samahata, revenue collector, and Sanadata, treasurer. The Mauryan period is archaeologically associated with the northern black polished ware (NBPW) culture, indicative of its economic prosperity. Despite its glory, the empire's decline began after Ashoka's death. His successors, starting with Dasharatha, 232 BCE, 224 BCE, struggled to maintain control. Samprati, 224 BCE, 215 BCE, made notable efforts to revive the empire and champion Jainism, but his achievements were short-lived. Shalashuka, 215 BCE, 202 BCE, Devavarman, 202 BCE to 195 BCE, Shattered Hanvan, 195 BCE to 187 BCE, and Brihadratha, 187 BCE to 185 BCE, followed in succession, but their reigns were marked by territorial losses and weakening central authority. The final blow came when Brihadratha was assassinated by his general, Pushyamitra Shunna, who established the Shunna dynasty. The Mauryan society was well structured, with Greek ambassador Megasthenes describing a division into 7 groups: philosophers, cultivators, hunters and herders, artisans and traders, spies and counselors. Women enjoyed considerable freedom, with records of them serving as royal bodyguards and having rights to divorce and remarriage. Slavery, though debated, existed in some form, as evidenced in Ashokan edicts. The major rock edict V of Ashoka underscores his concerns about policy toward slaves, where he proclaimed, "Every human is my child." Economically, the Mauryan Empire was a powerhouse. Its agrarian base, enriched by the fertile Indo-Gangetic plains, facilitated surplus production. Trade routes connected India to Central Asia, the Middle East, and even the Mediterranean. Taxila, a key commercial hub, linked the empire with the Western world. State oversight was rigorous, with officials such as Panyad Hyaksha, Commerce Superintendent, and Sulkad Hyaksa, Toll Collector, regulating trade and taxation. Other key officers included Akarad Hyaksa, Superintendent of Mines, Navad Hyaksha, Superintendent of Ships, and Portavad Byaksa, Superintendent of Weights and Measures. The economy also had a robust currency system, with silver panas and their smaller denominations in circulation. The decline of the Mauryan Empire stemmed from several factors: weak successors, administrative breakdown, economic constraints, and external pressures. The highly centralized structure of governance became difficult to sustain, and with regional governors gaining autonomy, the empire fragmented. Economic distress also played a role, as deforestation and resource depletion led to hardships, and taxation became burdensome. A major famine in North Bengal is believed to have occurred during the later Mauryan period, further weakening the state's control. Yet, the Mauryan legacy endures. It laid the foundation for unified governance in India, fostered economic prosperity, and played a crucial role in the spread of Buddhism. The grandeur of Pataliputra, the wisdom of Kautilya's Arthashastra, and the moral ideals of Ashoka remain etched in history as hallmarks of this remarkable empire.